Great. Well, what an exciting offseason it's been. Does coming here to Dodgers Fest mean that it's officially time for 2026 and time to lock it in?
It does. It does. I think that, you spend the offseason trying to detach, catch your breath a little bit. And now seeing players here, seeing their energy, obviously seeing the energy of the fans, it's certainly time. The calendar's turned and it's spring is in the air. So yeah, we're all excited about getting going again.
So have you thought more about just what the top of the order and what top of the line could potentially look like?
You know what? I've thought about it. I'm not kind of emboldened to how we're going to do it. I do feel great about having Shohei lead off. I do feel great about having Will in the 5. And then after that, I'm going to kind of read and react. But kind of the handedness, you certainly see, Mookie in the 3. But I'm kind of going to see how it goes as we get to spring.
Dave, knowing that there's a 3 in the air, how do you put that 5 in this season?
I don't mind the 3 in the air as a carrot and a kind of a North Star, a focus. But I do think that we're very mindful that there's a lot of work that needs to be done to get to that point. And also it's something of a challenge that I feel that our guys are not going to run from, because after winning 2 in a row and 3 in 5 or 6 years, whatever it is, with the same group of guys, a lot of the guys, you got to kind of keep guys incentivized, and I think that's something that's a good thing the guys are chasing, but with, again, understand that we got a lot of work to do.
How much does adding guys like Tucker and Diaz kind of re-energize the group as a whole, just seeing the aggressiveness in the front office to keep it better?
It's twofold. I think that it's huge in the part that you're getting the talent, but the other part is you're getting a couple guys that haven't won a championship. Tucker, I think, won one as a rookie, but he wasn't really totally a part of that team, I think. But having guys that, we did it with Teo a couple years ago. We did it with Blake Snell last year. Having guys that haven't had that feeling, that taste, infused with the guys that we already have here, I think that's great. But also, most importantly, we brought in a lot of talent.
When they target guys like Diaz and Tucker, do you go to your network of other managers and people to get a feel how they would fit in the clubhouse? And is that important that you relay that to the front office when it's a good fit for this team and this clubhouse as well?
Absolutely.
As the player?
Absolutely. I think we all kind of do our due diligence and then have conversations on figuring out if the player makes sense. And I think with Edwin, it's a guy that is, you guys are gonna love him. He's easygoing. He's very accountable. Hard worker. All he wants to do is win. He left money on the table to come to the Dodgers. Same guy every day. And I think with Tuck, he's just a guy that's kind of simple, not an outgoing kind of talker, just likes to work. Again, accountable, shows up, wants to play. So these are guys that kind of fit our culture and what we're trying to do.
What's the plan for Shohei as a pitcher? And then also, what's the conversation in terms of if he'll be able to be ready to do that for the WBC additional?
Well, he's not going to pitch in the WBC, but he will be ramping up his arm to get ready for this season. And I think for me I don't know how many innings he threw last year, but obviously with a full off season going north of what he did last year.
How did he take that?
What's that?
That he wouldn't be pitching in the WBC?
I wasn't surprised. So I can't even say I was relieved. I think that he wants to, understanding what he did last year, what he had to go through, to then how best to prepare himself for 26 to do both. It just seemed like the right decision, so I wasn't surprised and feel really good about it.
Was this more his call?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was absolutely his call. Whereas Yoshi feels that he wants to take it on and feels good, and we support it.
Dave, what are your early thoughts on how you'll manage Shohei the pitcher during the season?
I think that I don't think that I'm going to manage him any differently as far as each outing. I think there's certainly going to be extra time. It's not a 5-day, 6-day rotation. So there's going to be rest in between. But I think outside of that, it's not going to be the 2-inning, 3-inning governor. I think he's going to be used as a normal pitcher.
He's going to be, this season, obviously with Miguel Rojas being last season in his career, he's talked about
about that and the impact of you already have a Kershaw and retiring elite player.
Yeah, you know, obviously we're going to miss Clayton. It's going to be a different ball club without him. Hopefully he comes around for spring training. And as far as Miggy, he's one of the leaders on our ball club. So I'm happy to have him back. And he's going to be playing some third, some short, some second, spelling guys, taking the bats off the bench. But yeah, let's finish his last year with a championship.
Dave, in what ways will it be strange around here not have Kershaw?
Oh, a lot of ways. I think that when we get to spring training and Camelback and not seeing his locker where it's been for, 17 years, 18 years is going to be different. The presence, seeing number 22 out there early doing his sprints, seeing him in the weight room, knowing it's Kershaw Day. So not having that, it's going to be it's different. But I do think that I'm excited for Clayton, and I'm excited to kind of move forward with the guys we got now.
Snell has said that he's ramping up a little slower this offseason. How do you have to, is there something you have to do to kind of manage the work of your rotation, regardless of whether Snell is ready for opening day?
Yeah, I don't think that whatever is best for Blake or any of our pitchers, for that matter, we're going to do. And so where he's at once we get to spring training and how his arm feels, there's a build-up from there. If it doesn't line up with opening day, the first series, then it doesn't. And I'll say that about all the pitchers. So I don't know exactly where Blake's at right now, but it's really not of concern, appreciating that we just got to have these guys ready as we get into the season and through the season.
Have you rewatched Game 7?
No, I haven't. I did a thing recently with Bob Costas, which was great to kind of go back and talk through it, but I haven't, and for fear that there might be a different outcome. So I kind of like where it is right now.
Okay. So had Ohtani said if he had wanted to pitch, you guys would have let him?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.